Hello, and welcome to another episode of Philo. It is episode 78. Everyone was Venom-Fighting is what I decided to name it. Today, I am going to introduce, of course, my wonderful better half and co-host, Robin Fisher. Robin Fisher is dancing away to the Philo theme. And then our wonderful guest artist today, Teague Tysseling, is going to be joining us, rocking away to the Philo theme. And so let me change away from the Philo theme to something. Let's do like some R&B a little bit. And Tangent is saying, hi to both me and Robin and Teague. And so,
hi, translator, chat, translator.
Oh, hi, translator. Yes, hi, translator.
It was like it was feeling neglected, and all of a sudden it popped up as I was saying hi to Tangent.
Yes. Well, the translator needs to let everyone know that Translator God is here to help people. And then Kay is here, too. Kay says, hiya, just about done moving. Oh, good. Yeah.
You're moving too? Oh, wow. My brother's wife and kids are moving. It's a chaos in the country.
So, let me jump back a page. Where we started. Hi, Pierre.
Look here.
Where we started last episode is the Venom separates from Philo after seeing Armand. And Philo feels abandoned, and I realize I spelled abandoned wrong. I need to take out one of the ends. And so, two become one. We see an evil Armand getting venomized. Kay moved just down the hall, still immense job. And then Olive Oyl jumps on Armand while he turns evil. And so she's like eating him. And then we never came up with a caption for this panel. So I just went B. And so yes, so it's the dog planning, and then the dog leaps upon Olive Oyl, and that's where.
How about the bone doggy rears his head? Like Bone Daddy?
Bone Daddy reared his head.
But the bone doggy rears his head.
The bone doggy reared his head?
Rear.
I don't know. I'll figure it out.
Okay.
I make the book. I'll finalize the panel, but for right now, it's just B. And so I'm going to bring up Teague's panel, and we're going to put that up in the main one. Thank you. Do you want to do panel one? Did you want me to do panel one?
I'll go ahead and do panel one.
Okay, awesome. And so, with panel one, what do you think happens after the dog jumps onto to eat the Olive Oyl head? Do you think, okay, so there's a lot going on. Philo's been abandoned. We have a swamp thing, mushroom head, that I don't think has been venomized. I think they are free of being venomized, and I think that they're okay. And then the dog is still bones after the Dr. Manhattan at the beginning of the story. And
we have to exploit evil Armand because he's not going to be evil for super long. This is a rare opportunity to get him to do stuff.
Well, he's probably going to be doing something since he's just piled on by everybody else. He's got to react to that somehow.
Okay. Let's go back into Armand's past. He was in service. He was a bartender.
He was good.
Okay, this man carries trauma. I think we should do something with that. I think that Armand should just go full nuclear
like hulking out and ripping people apart.
Yeah.
Yeah, just full on venom.
And eating babies.
Well, maybe like little olive oil tentacle babies. You know, that because we had them from the last story, and they like vomited ink and then exploded.
It reminds me of the old, like, Bozo the Clown or Bosco the Dog cartoons, where they were literally made of ink, and that gave them their, like, ability to shapeshift and everything.
Yeah.
I feel like that's what Olive is, grabbing onto, brought forth from inside her, from her classic cartoon heritage.
Well, so let's do something with that. Let's say if the dog jumped on there and it's kind of like a dog pile and everybody was venom fighting, let's have
everybody was venom fighting.
Yes, you got my joke. Yes.
Dancing to when
so I think that everyone was venom fighting should be the caption, because I really like my joke. And you can do with that what you please.
Yeah.
But I think Armand going kind of ape shit should be part of that panel.
hulking out.
Yeah, because he's releasing that
all that
anger, that hate, that trauma. Yeah. And
I think also that, like, he's like a people pleaser too, and so he's at the point where he's just like so fed up with people. Yeah, and it's just like, I've had to listen to your fucking stories, and I'm done.
Yeah. So
does anyone know a key combination for the musical notes in text?
So
maybe
like sometimes there's like control something else for a symbol.
Well, if okay, are you just gonna have like just a brawl in your panel?
Pretty much, yeah.
Okay, then let's just continue the fight in mine.
All right.
And let's see,
Big
everyone was fighting, and then we'll have.
Well, we got more lyrics to get through anyway, so.
Oh, now I have to look up the lyrics to "Everyone Was Kung Fu Fighting."
Everybody was fast as lightning. Everybody was a little, or it was like a little frightening.
Can't remember the last one.
Why is that song so catchy?
Because it's fun.
Because it deserves to be.
Yeah. Let's see, everyone was kung fu fighting. Those kids were fast as lightning. In fact, it was a little bit frightening, but they fought with expert timing.
Oh.
You know what would be funny is if, like, the baby Olive Oyl became tiny little karate ninja kids. And they were the ones that were kung fu, and then that's who Armand is ripping to shreds.
Let's see. Okay, so let's see. If everyone was kung fu fighting.
Oh no! Rob had to do some storm cleanup, and James Banderass Windsor Smith has joined the room. He said today is a rare 2-day glitch party for him. I guess he watched you yesterday night as well.
Yeah, I was streaming some book stuff last night. I was working on some book stuff last night.
Do you want to see the book I started reading?
Yeah.
It's not a comic book, but it's got art in it.
Art is always good. I support art in all ways.
This is the book I'm reading right now.
Oh gosh, it's art. What is it? 1,000 years
of joys and sorrows. It's the memoir of Ai Weiwei, who is probably China's best and most interesting artist.
Oh, he's the one who dropped the Ming vase.
Yes, that's him.
He's very fascinating. Yeah.
Very fascinating. So I want to hear about Rob's storm cleanup. Did he have like a thunderstorm, or where is he again? He's out by you, isn't he? Did you guys have some rain?
He is in Minnesota, and so
yeah.
I am in Denver.
Sorry.
Okay.
This Canadian is not up on her Midwest American geography. I apologize.
Okay, I'm not gonna, like I know every city in Canada.
Let's talk about Winnipeg.
Yeah.
Hey, what's your favorite Canadian city? Teague?
Oh, the only one.
You have one? Have you been to Canada?
Vancouver.
Oh, well, that's the best one. So
Vancouver.
that's all right.
Okay.
Yeah,
What did you do in Vancouver?
Really, it was when I was a kid for lunch while we were visiting my aunt up here in Seattle.
Oh, okay. You get a quick jaunt across the border.
That was it. Just a little lunch. Exactly.
Lunch in Vancouver is pretty nice. My first experience of lunch in Vancouver was, I think, no, it was more a dinner. So, like, it was like, it was the first big city I lived in as like an adult, basically. My nana took my father and I out to dinner at this restaurant that was part of Van Dusen Gardens, which is like this beautiful, huge gardens within, like, inside the city of Vancouver. And I remember the bill came to $80 for all three of us, and this was like in 1995, and I was like mind blown. I was like never conceived of paying that much money for a meal. Now that's totally like what two people would pay to eat at a mid restaurant, right? Instead of a high end garden restaurant. So Kay said she had high winds, heavy rain that was severe, and then Rob said he had 2 branches fall. One took out part of his garden. Oh no. And James likes Toronto. And he even says it right, which is Toronto.
Toronto!
And then Pierre says, you don't know my city, and he's absolutely right. I don't know his city.
Yeah.
Wait, and James thinks that I'm reading a new issue of Spawn. Yeah, you don't know my city.
Yeah,
well, we've not had rain. We've had heat.
Yeah.
Hawkesbury. Oh, I've heard of Hawkesbury, but you're right. I don't know where that is. I usually know a lot of the small Ontario towns because I used to be an army cadet. And in those small Ontario towns, there's only 2 things for teenagers to do. 1, join the army or air sea cadets, or 2, get up to crime and become a juvenile delinquent and then get sent into the army or sea cadets from the government. Because I remember when I went and joined the army cadets in Sault Ste. Marie, because we were in Winnipeg, I was an army cadet, and then when we moved to Sault Ste. Marie, I was joined as well. And I was like, at least a third of the kids in that cadet corps were like put there by the court to keep them off the streets and out of trouble, stop them from shoplifting everything. It's between Montreal and Ottawa. Is it near Cornwall then? Because I know Cornwall. Anyways, I used to live in Montreal, and I love Ottawa. I was actually talking to someone about Ottawa recently, and they were saying that they thought it was kind of a nowhere little city. But I was like, there's a lot of cool things in Ottawa. One thing I really loved about Ottawa, it's closed now, but they had a bar called Zaypods, and you could get a drink called a Pan Galactic Gargle Blaster. It was awesome.
Gargle Blaster, oh. Love that Hitchhiker's reference.
Here, I grew up in a tiny little town called Wildemar in Southern California. No one knows where that is.
Oh, yeah. Well,
you
exactly. My hometown, Ukiah.
Yeah. So I know exactly that feeling. So it's like...
Yeah, with Ontario, the one thing I remember was... from Canadian Bacon, the one gag of Rhea Perlman waking up and looking out the window and just complete blizzard with just one dog team running across. And she
That's
instantly
actually a very
"I'm an
good movie.
Yeah.
One of my favorite recent moments where Canada showed up is I watched the Rock, Dwayne the Johnson's the sitcom they did about his life, which I found to be quite hilarious and very interesting if you're into like 80s wrestling like I was when I was a kid. There's at one point I didn't realize this, but it's really good. But at one point he was drafted into a Canadian football team. And it was like, I believe in Calgary or in Saskatchewan. I think it was Calgary. So of course he arrives like in the middle of winter. And there's a dude on a lawn chair bundled up and like, hey, how's it going? Ready to play for our team? Like he's like, comes from I think Miami or California, one of those southern like states. He's just like, can't believe it. The snow.
I think let's have Philo here. And then
So I have some exciting news. Today was my last day washing dishes at the old folks' home.
You're not working there anymore?
Oh, congrats.
I am working there. I got promoted.
Oh, that's good.
So I'm their new life activities coordinator.
Ooh, life activities coordinator.
Yeah.
That's getting to play games with them and stuff, right?
Exactly.
Yay.
I'm going to get them more physically active. We're going to do games, and we're going to do like audio and visual play, and we're going to do all sorts of stuff. Go outside.
Oh, that's going to be awesome.
Talk with shelters about getting puppy visits.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Yeah, and kittens.
Well, I know they already have a dog that visits them there.
Yeah.
Thanks, James. James says, congratulations. I am moving on up. More hours and more pay. Woo! But less hours for me, though.
Well, another thing, too, I'm thinking that you could do, too, is, like, work with, like, the elementary schools and have the kids come in and read to the old, to the
or even
old,
the high schools, really.
The high
That's
school,
a good idea.
Generational accent.
It practices reading for the elementary school kids, like young, their grade level books, but to the older, audience members and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like, I
That's
remember,
a great idea.
I remember being a kid
And they're young enough to not feel too old
performing
for
in
it.
old folks' homes for my magnet school, like, my puppet shows and stuff. Like, I remember doing, and so it was good. And
you're right. I mean, because there should be a lot more interaction, because that's one of the things that's actually really upsetting working in there is the amount of time they spend alone is insane. Like, we have some of them that come and sit outside the lunchroom like an hour before the meal because they literally have nothing else to do except just wait.
Yeah.
So, like, I hope they like this. And, like, my main goal is, A, to get them moving, and B, to do things that they want to do, like, to have them be happy with what's happening.
Yeah. Not just like, oh, this is what you have available. It's like, oh, good, this is what you have for us today.
Well, one of their big things that they asked for is they wanted more socialization time.
Yeah.
So, it was easy enough to set up, like, have a tea time for an hour on the second Friday of every month, and then in the fourth Friday of every month we'll have a happy hour, because they are allowed to have, like, one drink, one or two drinks, wine, whatever.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean,
it costs me like $10-15 to just buy a bottle of hard liquor, and then we'll just mix it up or something, and it's just, I'm not selling anything, so it's not, wrecking anything.
And they're adults.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not like you're giving it to little kids or something. No, they're adults. They're allowed to.
Don't time those visits at the same time. Little kid reading time with cocktail hour.
That'd be excellent. Throw in some drag queens, everyone would be happy.
Yes.
Thank you for the congratulations, Kay.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's kind of cool because it's also an honor because, like, the nuns recommended me. which means they had to like get together and deliberate whether it was a good idea or not, you know, to all be on board for it. And I've been working there for like a year and a half, so they know me pretty well. And yeah, I'm the first one to do it that's not a nun.
Nice.
That's my big news. No more dishes. No more dishes. No more dishes. Yeah, someone was teasing me about like, what now? Are you a nun? And I was like, I've been celibate for years. I guess I kind of am a nun at this point. I just don't give myself to God. Sorry, God.
It's if more. I don't want to get too like crazy, but if more Christians acted Christian, I would have no problem with Christianity. Like
if it weren't for all the political Christians.
People,
exactly.
yeah. But it literally says in the Bible, like, those aren't real Christians.
Well, that's one of the reasons why I really love working at this elderly residence, is because the nuns actually really care. And they pay attention to what's going on. Like today when I was there, one of the residents fell. One of the nuns was there the whole time, making sure everything was okay. And the other thing too is one of the reasons why I have this job is because they're not getting any younger, right? Like the youngest nun, I think, is like 60 something, and she's from another country. So, the youngest two are from other countries. So, it's like people aren't getting into the order anymore. It's not something people are interested in being a part of. So, they're all in their 70s and 60s and 80s, so they need help. But it's interesting, their order is very young. Like, the woman who started it is, she started it, I think, in like the 30s. They're the Carmelites, and their focus is on like care and education. And so that's what like they're in service to do. So while, of course they're obviously concerned about money and budget, it's not so much that there's people there looking to turn a profit, which is nice. So how's work been for you, Teague? Doing anything exciting and new?
Oh, been going full-time caricature for the summer, so having a lot of fun with that.
Where do you do that? Do you like just pick a spot on a boardwalk, or do you go to like a playground or like fairground or something?
I work for a company that has about 18 artists working, like including the two owners.
That's super organized.
Oh, it is, yeah. And so we got several different, like, every day of the summer spots. And then we also have all the different festivals and fairs. Like,
and like, I'd imagine people might hire you out too, right? Like for
events and like all kinds of parties and stuff.
Yeah. So you were saying this weekend you have something?
This weekend. This weekend I have the Anacortes Art Festival Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Tomorrow I'm working at the base of the Space Needle, and then Thursday I think I'm down at the Seattle waterfront, and then the zoo.
Isn't Bumper Shoot about to happen soon?
Oh yeah, that's coming up next month.
Yeah, I got to do that once. They asked me to do a talk.
Oh yeah?
About comics, yeah. I'm trying to remember what I talked about. I think I mostly talked about censorship in comic books, because that's what was happening within my life at that time.
Yeah.
We were fighting comic censorship from Canada Customs.
Oh.
Yeah, I don't know if you guys knew this, but so you had a stringent warrior woman named Andrea Dworkin, and
I know her.
He was convinced that all pornography was misogyny, and nobody really listened to her down in the States, so she came up to Canada and we listened to her. which was really dumb. And we enacted this thing called the Butler Act, where it's like if any kind of image or video had any kind of sort of misogynist-looking overtones or actual misogyny, it would be censored or banned outright. And it got really extreme. Like, I remember watching Behind the Green Door, and like they showed a man about to slap a woman, and they showed her red behind, but they wouldn't show her actually getting slapped. Anyways, it became extreme because they were starting to confiscate books, magazines, and comics that were going into this gay and lesbian bookstore called Little Sisters. Like, they were targeting them. And the thing is, they wouldn't return the product to the publishers. They would destroy it. So Little Sisters was losing tons of money. And the thing is they were basically the only gay and lesbian bookstore in the city of Vancouver, like, since the 70s. And so it was like a mecca. You know, kids from all over British Columbia, the prairies, would go to Vancouver, and that was the place they would go to meet people or to find a place to live or just, like, find other people like them. You know what I mean? So it was such a valued, a valued part of Vancouver's history. So Little Sisters took Canada Customs to court about literature, and, like, there were so many things that were so upsetting. First of all, because they were taking Canada Customs, and Canada Customs was operated by the government. The government could drag its heels and delay the hearings for years and years and years because they had all this money, you know, or like taxpayers' money and money from wherever. It wasn't like a private business trying to defend themselves. So they did that. Of course, Little Sisters had such a hard time making ends meet and paying for the legal fees and all this other stuff. So constant fundraisers. They dragged their feet so much it got to the point where people that were in defense of Little Sisters were dying. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's how long things were taking. They did stuff like they would confiscate a bunch of things, and then another bookstore would order the same things in the city, and they would get it no problem. They would confiscate a book like Hot, and Hotter, thinking it was pornography, but really it was how to cook with, like, hot peppers. Like, it was just stupid stuff.
Basically the one store.
So eventually they lost, and Little Sisters won, eventually. And the law changed that Canada Customs had to prove what they were taking was pornographic. Before, the people who had the stuff confiscated had to prove what they had was not pornographic. The other thing that they did is, I forgot. It's been so long since I've talked about this. Anyways, eventually...
I didn't realize it got that bad. I just remember her going after stuff like Gen 13 and Wildcats, and she went after, like, Jeff Campbell's art when he was, like, brand new.
Yeah.
And you know, like, I remember she brought Jim Lee out onto a program, and she was, like, pulling up it was a pinup issue of it was a swimsuit issue, you know, where it was all these pinups of swimsuit, you know, the characters in swimsuits, right, of Wildstorm characters.
Yeah.
And it was this double spread pinup of Voodoo that Jeff Campbell had done, and Voodoo was a brand new character, and she was an exotic dancer, right? So he drew her in her exotic dancer outfit, and that woman was like, explain this, what does this mean, you know, and stuff like that. And Jim Lee's like one of the nicest guys in comics, going like, well, actually that's pretty integral to the character, because she is an exotic dancer. And, well, why does she have to be an exotic dancer? She doesn't have to be, but that's just who the character is and where she came from, right? You know, it's just, and then he, you know, he's on the defense the rest of the time. Like, I'm trying to remember what program it was. I remember it was like a Sunday or a Saturday morning program, and I watched it because it was going to be an interview with Jim Lee, but it was with her. And I remember, like, oh, that bitch. and I didn't realize it was that bad in Canada. I
Yeah,
had no
it
idea
got pretty
it
bad.
got that bad. That's awful.
So, anyway, the other thing they had to do is they had to return the product either to whoever they ordered it from or to the person that they confiscated it from, because again, huge amounts of money were getting lost. So, but the thing was that Canada Customs actually didn't obey the Supreme Court of Canada's ruling, and they were still confiscating comics and magazines and just stupid stuff, you know, like you could have a diesel dyke lesbian forcing a femme lesbian to kiss her boot, but that was still misogyny and it wasn't allowed in Canada. So I helped Little Sisters and I put together 2 comic book anthologies. And the first one was all like adult stories, like the things that Canada Customs would censor. And then the second book was all about like just talking about censorship and how it's a slippery slope. And in Canada really should behave better, I think. And the last thing I heard is that the judge ruled a new ruling that said if it's between adults and if it's behind closed doors, who's it offending? And she changed the law on that, because that is also one of the problems is like the ruling, like the wording of the law was so vague that it was like, this is offensive to Canadians, therefore we can censor it, we can destroy it, you know, because like they even censored, I think, an issue of Heavy Metal magazine, like ripping out pages or putting black dots on stuff just because of this Butler Act that Dworkin got going.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, so yeah, we've evolved a bit, which is nice. But you know, like all our porn magazines, like Playboy and all that, that was all published in our country. So that's how we got around getting it across the border. And another extenuating circumstance that I always found really stupid is I learned during that trial that, because you know, Madonna's sex book came out not that long beforehand.
Oh, yeah.
And that was totally allowed into bookstores across Canada, Virgin Megastore, stuff like that, no problem. And I was like, well, that's got tons of stuff in it. Like, how is that allowed? Because she wined and dined the people in charge. So it was just so arbitrary. It made no sense. And the thing is, and the big thing, a lot of people involved in the whole situation is like, the people censoring this stuff and not destroying it and not letting it in the country, they're not trained in the art. Like, they don't have any concept of what is pornography or what is offensive or what would harm Canadian citizens. You know what I mean? Like, so yeah, that's my story.
Yeah, it's like I said, that was just my first exposure to her, and I was not impressed.
But I mean, you know, I'm a feminist and I consider myself that. I'm not afraid to say it. But like when you get into feminism, there's like all these different like waves, and that was one of the waves where we were like doing a massive backlash against pornography and all the people that watched it and all the people that were involved in it. And I'm not saying that I believe that. Like, I like to think of myself as pretty open-minded. It's like, to each his own is my life motto. But I'm just saying that was like a history in feminism. That was part of our feminist history, briefly. And so she had people's ear. I thought it was funny that she made no headway in your country, so she came up to ours. That was pretty funny.
Surprised she really didn't make any headway in our country.
That happens, though.
I mean,
you know.
Well,
yeah.
Men have more power in society, especially back in the 80s and 90s, than I guess they give credit for, because, you know, they just laughed at her. Can't make any real change. You're just a woman.
I think I'm done with this panel. How are you doing?
I'm pretty much done.
So you ever had anyone get upset with your caricatures? I remember, like, when I was a kid, I got one down, and the dude, like, really focused on my teeth. And when I was a kid, they were actually bucked. Like, they were an overbite. They really stuck out. I remember I was, like, 10 or 11. I was like, this kind of sucks. But I didn't say
Yeah,
that. I just
you
thought
gotta
that.
gauge it from the customer. But yeah, there's the first started. My boss told me if you're not getting any rejections, you're wrong.
That's interesting.
Because you gotta push it.
Well, like,
Yeah,
why does
you
he
gotta
figure
push
you
it.
can't please all the people all the time?
Oh yeah, and that is true. Going off my 20 years of customer service experience.
All right. Let us do a new panel. We'll drag that in.
All right.
I love how octopusy he looks. So I don't know why, but I just love it when their heads are like that, like goofy, weird, sassy shape.
Oh, did you get the video?
Yeah, that was pretty cute. Where he was like, "Look over there," and then
Yes,
and ran off.
yes. I thought you would like that. Where he's like, ink.
They're pretty awesome creatures.
Yeah, there's a video online where an octopus is being chased by I think an eel.
Yeah,
and he flattens down, and then he does a little ink cloud, right? And then swims in the opposite direction when the eel goes after the ink cloud. It's pretty good.
I just think that's so interesting, and like it's weird too because they don't live very long. They live like 2 to 3 years at the most, and I'm just like, what would happen? A, if they lived way longer, and B, if more of them live, because when they have eggs, they have like hundreds of them, but like so many get eaten. Like there's all these reasons why like not many of them survive, right? Or the oceans would be full of them, but they aren't. But like it's just so weird that like evolution-wise, they have such a short lifespan, and their babies get devoured, like just decimated all the time. Like think if they were human, 2 years. And then you have like 1,000 babies and only like 30 live.
So this is where I left off. Is those kids were fast as lightning, and it's just we're having a fight.
Okay, well, wouldn't Philo slip through his limbs because he's now like a? Remember they threw his 2-dimensional body in the garbage.
They did, but he could slip. I don't know. Maybe that's the next panel.
Reinflate himself.
Flatman Philo versus Venom.
Yeah.
I think we should ask Scott what's going on with Philo. I'm confused with his body functions.
Well, I think that it could have just been a metaphoric panel too.
Okay, fair enough. It was one of those Gabriel Garcia Marquez moments. I get it.
Yes. And so, so those kids were fast as lightning, and then what happens?
Something, a little bit.
The next line of the
That's
song.
A great panel, by the way, Amber. I really like it.
Teague's was pretty cool too.
I'm not dissing Teague's, but I like the more I look at it, the more I'm just like, oh, it's cute with the dog's head just sitting there.
Well, that's because Armand's got it, and I think the dog would be okay with being a minion.
Yeah.
Like being a goon. Like that's kind of what I'm feeling. Is kind of the dog sitting there as bones underneath the venomized octopus, as just kind of his hound at the ready. Is
and that's a good background brush he used. I noticed the squares.
It's a new one.
Yeah,
I wanted to play with it, and so yes, that's it. It was technically called Minecraft when I got the new brush. Sense. Yeah, I have a bunch of new brushes I need to sort through. I'm still sorting. So anyway, in fact, it was a little bit frightening, but they fought with expert timing. And so do you want to continue with lyrics, or do you want to? Because I kind of have the image in my mind of like an evil Armand and the dog sitting in front of him. That I kind of want to draw.
Yeah, like a lording over.
Yes.
Yeah.
But I think we should kill Olive Oyl.
Yeah, get rid of her.
Oh.
Because she's been trying to take over the strip, and it's Philo's strip. And
Well, I have to. Another thing I noticed about your panel that I really liked is her eyes and how she actually looks quite terrified. So
yes,
I think killing her in the next panel is quite natural.
Rob thinks that we should continue with the lyrics, but we should still kill Olive Oyl. So I'm thinking, in fact, it was a little bit frightening,
That
but
can
they
happen.
fought with
That
expert
works.
timing.
Yeah, she's frightened. She's frightened.
Yeah,
so
I
my panel
think
could be Dog and Armand teaming up, and then next panel, precision timing, they attack at the same time and kill Olive Oyl.
No. What I'm thinking,
okay.
what I'm thinking is your panel is like she's smashed, she's destroyed like a watermelon, right?
Oh,
I think that Armand and the dog should be wearing suits, and it should be like a Tarantino movie.
Pierre's saying hashtag save Olive Oyl.
No
always
saving
come
Olive
back
Oyl.
from like a droplet.
Yeah, and if she comes back, that'll be the third time. So we have saved her a few times now.
It's just tradition now.
She's like Kenny.
Okay, Tangent has a good idea. They put
So does
Olive
Kenny.
Oyl's head in a jar like in Futurama. The rest of the strips with her in it would be her as a head in the jar.
That
It
works.
would isolate her.
And then it would get that image of Armand ripping her apart because she's got to get her head off. Anyways, also, Kate thinks
she
that
is
Armand
just
should
a head.
squeeze her brains out.
Should squeeze her brains out. Yeah.
That's what Kate said.
She should be jarred. I'm thinking. Or do you think watermelon
How
is
about
smashed?
I like her spider legs one by one and then stuffing her in the jar.
Ooh. Okay.
Yeah, well, Armand could do that.
Okay. Are you
with his-
doing the pluck then, and I'll do the jar? Okay. Okay, you're doing the pluck, and I'll do the jar.
Oh, I was gonna do.
Oh, you're
It
gonna
has
do
to
the
be
jar?
an olive jar since
Okay,
we're
then I
on.
got it. Then I got panel 4. I got panel 4. I
It
got
has
panel
to be an
4.
olive jar.
Yeah. Let's see. There were funky Chinamen from funky Chinatown. They were chopping them up. They were chopping them down. It's an ancient Chinese art, and everybody knew their
I
part
think we
from
can
a
change
fading
that
slip
one
and
a
kicking.
bit.
Everybody was kung fu fighting. Let's see. I don't think we need to necessarily stick with the lyrics after that, because I think the first set of lyrics is fine.
Yeah.
But what I
We
will
make some
say is that Armand rules over the mycelium network.
So one thing I bet you didn't know is that back in the late 80s, Ai Weiwei was in New York and he hung out with Allen Ginsberg and Keith Haring.
Was he writing poetry too?
No, he wasn't a writer. He was all about art.
That's still pretty cool.
Yeah, I'm going to see a couple of his exhibits now. I find him very interesting how he challenges so many things.
Challenge is a good way to describe his art, because he's not afraid to say like, hey, if tradition is doing that, let's try this. But he doesn't do it just to be shocking.
No.
He does it because he's like the Ming vase, right? It gets you thinking about the Ming vase. You know?
Well, no, it's about how he's shattering traditions and the ideas and how rigid things are in that country. It's also about the fallacy of the Ming vase, and that, you know, when the Cultural Revolution happened and when the communists took over, they destroyed all that stuff. They were like, destroy the past, destroy your culture, destroy everything that the decadent bourgeoisie had. So, like, they revere that stuff now, and he was smashing it on purpose, but he was also pointing out like how fake that stuff is too, because a lot of it's not real when you go over there. They had no compunction. Like when you go into a museum in North America or England or anywhere really, they'll have the main vase. They'll have the vase broken, whatever, pieces nearby or no pieces, like just the little bit that it is. In China, they paste it all together. They plaster it. They don't make it look like it's like. Sometimes they'll make it look like it's perfect. Sometimes they don't, but they do not give a shit about the history of it because there's so little of it. So, yeah, he has a lot of layers and messages behind his work. The last piece he did that I remember was the piece he did where he was talking about an earthquake that happened in China that killed like a ton of children because like the schools weren't built properly. And so initially he had like their book bags in the shape of words and letters talking about the schools and stuff. Then he plastered every kid's name on the wall, and he was getting in trouble with the government for this because he was going to the villages and interviewing parents to find out exactly how many kids had actually died. And the government was not talking about it, and they didn't, any number they gave was really low because it all looked bad on them because they were the ones in charge of building the school.
Yeah.
And then, like, at the 5-year anniversary of these exhibits, he got people from around the world to record them saying the names of all the children. And then he just had it on a non-stop loop. I know recently he's done some stuff on refugees too, because like there's been a lot of that in Europe. Yeah, I'm trying to look him up because it's been a while since I've heard anything that he's been doing. But there's just so many things. Like, he's just interesting. Like, they arrested him and they kept making up charges, but really they were just pissed off because he was challenging them. And and so the Chinese citizens started throwing 100 renminbi bills in the shape of paper airplanes over the wall of the studio because they were like initially saying, oh, it's tax evasion. So the citizens were like, okay, here's some money. We'll help you pay for your tax evasion. And then the government were like, oh, no, it was because he made pornographic images. But they weren't. Like, if you look at the photos, they are nude photos, but it's not pornography. It's like showing the dark crevices of everybody, just like, this is what you are. In China, it's really weird. Like, they have this thing where they don't show affection. They don't like it when you show emotion. It's very, like, stoic that way. But they will show things that we don't show out in public. Like, for example, I was at a restaurant, and this father was just yelling at his kid over something, and the kid was standing there crying. And it was like with public, like at a restaurant. I was like, whoa. Or they'll be like fixing things on the front lawn that you're just like, that's weird. We don't do that in Canada. Like, it just, and so when Ai Weiwei was interviewed by the BBC, he was like, film me in the shower. And they were like, no, we can't do that on the BBC. And he was like, I don't care. Just film me in the shower. That would be great. Because their idea of or they'll clip their toenails at a parent-teacher meeting. They'll pick their nose and eat it on the bus. Like, you're just like, what? I would go swimming and they would hork at the side of the pool. Like, when you're getting out of the pool, your hand is like in all this mucus because they've been horking all on the side of the pool. So their ideas of like what's private and what isn't is very different from ours. So Ai Weiwei, he's like the same. He's like, he'll tell you about everything, but certain things are not allowed to talk about. It's just really interesting.
Let's see. I'm putting Armand on an Akira throne. The Orky will keep you here. Yes.
I can't remember who I was telling about this recently, but they so I would go swimming a lot, and they had like the lanes because it was an Olympic pool, right? And they all do that sort of frog kick butterfly swim when they're swimming. When they're doing, I don't know, you know that thing where they go like this and they're kicking out with their back legs? I always called it the frog, but maybe it's the forward butterfly. I don't know. It's not a breaststroke, that's for sure. And they'd always think that I was going too slow, and they would always pass me, but because they were doing that stroke, they'd be kicking me in the face. It was such an experience living there. I got to see a bunch of girls synchronized swim practice. That was really cool. they would be in the other pool with these huge diving board, and so it was really neat to see that.
Let's see. Okay. There we go. Trying to draw a dog bones without like killing myself.
Oh, I just winged it.
Oh, I actually
about
like
the dog. The dog is like everything and nothing all at once.
I don't know if dog's gonna stay bones.
Amber, did you know that they've done comics for Animorphs?
Animorphs?
Yeah, I was on Chapters the other day and they had them on display. Like that, I'm assuming it's pretty new. But yeah, they've done comic books for Animorphs.
Huh. I didn't know that. No, actually I did know that. I'd seen some panels from them. But I don't think I've read any. I just saw panels online floating around. Because there's one of the Animorph characters can turn into an eagle, and he gets like trauma where he doesn't want to turn back into a human, and he stays an eagle.
It's much
Tobias?
more fun.
I haven't read the book, so I don't know what's going on with that. I just know that I saw these panels of him where he was just like decided I'm going to stay an eagle, and
I have to probably agree with them on that. It's probably a lot of fun being a bird of prey. I think about that sometimes. I think it'd be really fun to be a bird of prey. Whether you're like an eagle or a raptor or a falcon or...
Well, I think it's because he was like tortured as a human boy. But I think that was like the reason he didn't want to come back.
Yeah, abuse will do that to you. It's kind of weird that way.
Yeah. But I'm right there with you about like flying around and like, ooh, let me eat that vole there. Oh, Pierre says they were born a frog.
And shouldn't he say he was born a grenouille?
Let's see, and then
grenouille is French for frog.
Ah,
and his name is Pierre.
But
translation, yes. The translator works.
Yes, I told you the translator is working.
Pierre said oui. The translator said yes.
Yes, the translator is working. We got it working again.
No, we don't call each other frogs. That would be very insulting. That would be upsetting to call somebody a frog.
Yeah.
I just wanted to show off my knowledge of French language. I'm a snob. Sorry.
No, I find it, Ian and I, we talked about, like what the French brought to cooking. They brought technique, and they brought like
black moral,
the willingness to like eat different things,
like snails and frogs.
Well, not just frogs.
I said snails and frogs.
But
escargot. Je mange l'escargot beaucoup.
Yeah, but like because the French for so long, you had the elite, they were able to eat the best cuts of meat and everything like that. And then you had the regular citizens, they were stuck with the offal, and they were stuck with like, whatever they could get. They ended up creating amazing cooking, and they militarized it, and they're able to feed tons and tons of people by militarizing cooking, and then they made it tasty through their technique, and then that technique and that militarization of the cooking went into other regions of the world through colonialization, and then you ended up getting like Vietnamese cooking now that has like that militarization and the technique, but with the ingredients of Vietnam and their added technique and their added spices, and it's just it's interesting. I don't know, like very innovative. That like when all you have is what's in front of you to eat, the French went, "We shall make it taste good." You know, like even in that moment, the French were like, "Yeah, let's make it taste good. Let's make
I
it."
got the impression,
And
though,
so
that the
that
French
makes
really like the
Ratatouille even
best
more
of
French.
everything.
You know, like, I mean, I know it's not just the French who do that, you know, like, let's make it taste good, but
No, but like I said, I always got the
But that
impression that the
attitude.
French really love, like, really good things. Like, you know what I mean? Like fashion, high fashion, haute
yeah,
couture, you know,
Yeah.
like not just the food, travel, cars, like their cottages on the countryside are sumptuous, you know, and they have beautiful beach houses too. Like, it even in their relationships, they've got the wife and husband and the mistress, or, you know, the piece on the side. Like, they just love to live a good life, it seems.
yeah, and because of the French Revolution and stuff like that, they have a younger retirement than Americans, and they work a 4-day work week, and they, you know, have universal health care and a bunch of other stuff. And they protest in the streets when all that stuff is threatened to be taken
Throw
away.
flour at each other.
Yeah. You know, it's
Fair enough, but I think the poor French also tried their best to live a lusty life. They had really good bread and really good tomatoes and really good cheese. They had nice beds.
Mhm.
Even when they were poor, the beds were soft. Maybe not the greatest bed sheets or the cleanest bed sheets, but they were soft. I don't know. I'm mass generalizing, so I should shut the hell up.
Yeah, I mean, I think we all are to some extent, but
Yeah.
I just think that it's kind of cool that, like, before the French Revolution and stuff like that, you know, it was the poor cooks in the kitchen who made the cooking. You know, it wasn't the elites in the dining room. You know, and those same people
the
would
ones who
go
needed
home
to.
and then feed their families, and they would have, you know, the offal to do it with, right? Well, how do you make that taste good? They'd figure out a way.
You guys did the same thing. It wasn't the French that invented chicken fried steak.
Yeah, well, I mean, a chicken fried steak, it shows up kind of everywhere a little bit. Like,
I'm just saying that, you know, poverty and depression are the necessities of invention.
yeah.
Yeah.
Where you think poutine is super
Absolutely.
expensive? Well, it is now, because cheese ain't cheap, but it didn't used to be. Cheese curds and gravy and potatoes,
Yeah.
that shit is cheap as hell.
Yeah. But they could have
More
just gotten
French
beans
food, by
on
the way.
toast, and they chose not to.
Beans on toast. But I think my favorite poverty food must be black beans and rice, the Cuban dish with lime, and I think that's it. Yeah, black beans, rice, and lime. Oh, and cilantro. Lots of cilantro.
In
Like good old shepherd's pie.
college, my go-to poor dish was tuna and mac and cheese.
Yeah, I know a lot of people that eat that. When I moved out, my meal for months was pierogies. 'Cause my mom told me they were expensive, and I believed her. And then when I moved out, I was like, these aren't expensive. So I just devoured bags and bags of pierogies. They were like $2 and you could freeze them and they'd last forever. And then around the corner from my house, which is in Vancouver, there was a dude that sold samosas 3 for $1, and they were like this big. They were so good. And you could do vegetarian or chicken or beef. Excellent.
Nice.
Then like around the corner from them was Solly's Bagels, and you could get a bagel this big, a shamir, which was excellent. They put so much sour cream to the point where you're like, this is too much. But I would never say that because most places never give enough. So I'd always be like, oh, Solly's, you're the best. And that was only like $2. But this was like late 90s. And then there was also another place around the corner from there called Hawker's Delight, which is all Vietnamese vegetarian. So that place, you could get a bowl of tofu and bean sprouts doused in peanut sauce and noodles. It was so good for like $3 or $4. Yeah, Vancouver in the 90s time. Oh, and I keep forgetting, I want to look up a Mongolian grill. Have you guys ever tried that?
Oh, I love Mongolian grill.
Mongolian what?
Yeah. In Vancouver, it was so good where you pick your freeze-dried meat or whatever. It was frozen, not freeze-dried. And then you pick your noodles, and then they give you like 20 choices of sauces. And it's like, if you want a sweet, salty sauce, put this, and this in. And it has like a list of 5 different sauces to mix and match. And then they have a giant circular plate, hot plate, like huge. It's supposed to emulate the bottom of a cauldron because that's how the Mongolian warriors used to eat. And they have these giant sticks, and they just dump your food on the big metal plate, and they take the giant sticks and put it all the way around the circle, and then they slide it into your bowl. And it was always all you can eat, and they always won because it cost $10, which was a little bit too much at the time for me, but at the same time, it's all you can eat, right? And they always won because I could never eat more than 1 bowl. You win if you can eat 2 or 3 bowls.
I can usually do like 3.
Oh, I can only do 1.
Oh, Ian?
But it was so good.
No, Ian makes it worth it to go to that place. Yeah. He makes it worth it to go to that place. I kind of got the
Armond is on a throne. Nice.
Well, if you notice, it's the Akira throne.
Yes. He mentioned that.
And so, yeah, so he's on the Akira throne. And,
did you see that meme where they were talking about how Akira... Oh, we talked about this already. Sorry. I didn't mean to repeat myself.
Oh, no. What were you saying?
Oh, how Akira is just basically some dude's name. And it's like if they'd made that movie in English, it'd be like a movie called Steve.
Yeah.
But because it's Japanese, we think it's like
Ted.
super exotic and Akira! No, it's just Kevin.
Yeah, that's funny. But yeah, it is a very common Japanese name too.
Hey Rob, that frozen meat is also really, really good for Korean barbecue. You get the gochujang sauce and then lettuce, and you're done, good to go with that meat. Not just Mongolian barbecue, Korean barbecue. Did I tell you guys I made a really good salad this past week that I had like 3 times?
No.
I'm calling it the Burger King Whopper salad.
Why?
So, like,
Burger King Whopper?
Yeah, it tastes like a Burger King Whopper. So I shredded lettuce and tomato, and I had onion and pickles. And then I fried up ground beef, patted it dry, and put like salt, pepper, and garlic powder on or whatever. Did, of course. And then I made a sauce, which was just like diced pickles, pickle juice, and then ketchup and mayo all mixed together. And then it was such a good salad. I had it like 3 times.
Nice. I think I'm gonna call the pencils on this one done, and now let's do some shading.
Yeah, that bony dog looks awesome.
Yeah, let me put me in here because I don't know what Teague is doing. It looks a little sketchy. So I'll let Teague sketch that one out.
So Teague, what would be your dream drawing job? I mean, obviously you like doing caricatures, but I'm just saying, like,
Yeah. I mean, that is a really good job because I do like the face-to-face interaction. Like, I used
you
to...
get immediate response too, right? Like a lot of comic artists, they toil away, and unless they go to conventions or somebody writes them, you have like no idea what they're thinking about your work.
Exactly. Yeah, you get that immediate feedback, that immediate justification. Or
It's like the difference between movies and theater, right? Theater, the audience is right there feeding you. Movies, it's a little different.
I think it'd be really hard to be a tattoo artist.
Oh,
yeah, well, that's permanent.
Like high pressure. I thought about it, then backed off because of that.
Like, what were your reasons?
Soft flesh surface to draw on. Also, the pressure of the permanence of it.
Yeah, like you really don't want to upset anyone with that job.
Also, you're always taking, like, you can be taking a gamble with someone's hygiene.
Ooh, I didn't even
unless
think about
their
hygiene.
Unless you got like a nice regular, but anyone, walk-ins.
Yeah. Yeah. I didn't even think about someone's hygiene. Ew. Ew. Now you got me thinking about people's hygiene. Ew.
Right.
Ew. Hygiene. Oh. Oh, Teague. Oh. No, I always thought
I mean, you can
that,
send them
like,
away, but you'll still never unsee it.
Yeah, I mean, I always thought that, like, for one thing, there are people like me that would come in with their own designs, right? And I want this,
Yeah.
right? And there's a difference between
Yeah.
an artist's hand and the design that's brought in. And
yeah,
even if that difference is so subtle, it's still there. Yeah, stuff like that too,
My thing is, right now the trend for tattoos is kind of annoying because I see it on all the 20-year-olds that I work with, where it's just like one little tiny image and a billion of them, and there's like no rhyme or reason to them. There's no like, what's the word, harmony. It's just like
doing this like a pattern.
I guess they're creating their own pattern with these, but there's no like symmetry or repetition. So, and it's just in so random stuff. Like when girls used to collect charm bracelets and it had all these little things hanging off them. It's kind of like if you took all those little things and threw them in a bowl, then took up a handful and then put them in tattoos on your arm.
Yeah.
Like, it just doesn't. Maybe there's reason to the person who's wearing them, but it's just something I've noticed with the teenagers and 20-year-olds that I work with, the ones that are into tattooing. That's what it is. It's a lot of different stuff. And, like, yeah, also the customers, it's summer now, so they're all coming in with shirts. And so, yeah, you could be right, Rob. Rob thinks it's because they can't afford larger work. But some people do have larger work. Like, lots of people have clocks, wolves, dragons all up and down their arms and legs. Yeah. But, yeah, I don't know. I shouldn't criticize it.
Do they all look the same, or do they look slightly different?
Yeah, no, they all look like old school Flash. They all look like old school Flash tattoos, like all, most of them are black and white, and then they've got that sort of vintagey feel to them.
So I'm wondering if it's like, passport stickers,
emoji
just get the same tattoo each different places they visit.
Mm-hmm. But a lot of them are, like, it's a lot of different kids and 20-year-olds with those kind of tattoos. Pierre, you smartass. Says a tattoo of a watch is only right 2 times a day, and he is correct. So thanks for that.
Let's see. Okay, let's do this. And
I have 4 tattoos, and I keep thinking about getting another one, but I try to like think about it for a year to make sure I really want it, and nothing's really sparked that long lately. Really, what I should do is touch up my old ones so that they're legible and understandable again. But then I feel like a jerk asking a tattoo artist to be like, "Can you emulate this well enough that I can use you?"
I mean, they'd understand a touch-up. Because it's not like, it's like asking them for something from the book. It's not like you're already asking them to come up with something original for that tattoo, but it's still a craft. Still craftsmanship.
Oh, my comic nerddom pissed off one of the musicians from a band called Consolidated. I don't know if you've ever heard of that band. They're like a Canadian punk band.
Yeah.
She came into the store and she had this amazing tattoo, and I was like, "Oh, I really like your tattoo. Where'd you get it?" And she's like, "Oh, it's this artist, blah, blah, blah." And I'm like, "No, it's not. It's Ted McKeever." She was like, "What?" I showed her the comic, and I was like, "Your artist stole from a comic book artist named Ted McKeever." She was not happy with me. Pierre says he's too fickle for tattoos. Rob agrees that full sleeves are expensive AF, and they do take a long time. And Pierre thinks that if he got a tattoo, he'd get one removed.
I've started my sleeve, but it's taking forever and it's expensive.
I'm sure like everything there way more expensive, because I remember a guy when I lived in Vancouver, and he was getting a full back piece done, and it was like, Virgin Mary and all these sins and fire, and he was just a bartender. It's not like he had tons of money.
Yeah.
He wasn't getting it all done at one time though either, so spread out it probably was super expensive. But I'm pretty sure like everything else in life where these days the tattoos have gotten really expensive.
Yeah, I haven't checked out Plucked Olive yet. Without her spider legs. No, I just have Armand and the Akira chair here. Akira-ing.
Rob has no tattoos. I have 4 tattoos. Amber has how many tattoos? 4?
Just the 2. No,
just the 2. Okay. Teague, how many tattoos do you have?
Just the 2. You got this one. Oh, it's mirrored, so it says, I'm fucking magical.
Yeah, as it should.
And then another one that I just want to get covered up. So I'm thinking like a half sleeve, like sci-fi black and white mural.
Well, I got attacked by a jellyfish, so I got this jellyfish tattoo.
Ha.
Initially, it looked like Gary from SpongeBob, and I got that done in Thailand. But then I saw this woman in Hong Kong named Rika who did a watercolor style, and I was just like, work your magic, do whatever you want to this tattoo. I want it to look like your work. And she, it's awesome. I love it so much. And then I have I have Tara McPherson, who's like a poster artist, on one arm, and then I've got Optic Nerve, the comic book, on the other arm, and then I have a secret one that I don't like to talk about.
Nice.
A secret one?
Yes, that I don't like to talk about.
Why? Is it someone's name?
No. I would never get someone's name on me. That's dumb. Because then you're stuck doing something like Wino Forever. Why would I do that?
Okay, I think I'm done with panel 4. How are you on panel 3?
Pretty much done.
Okay, I'll put you in the big window.
Is she in brine?
15 minutes.
Pickled olive? Is she in brine? Hey, yesterday in brine, when you make corned beef brine, you put cloves in it. You know that? I didn't know that.
No, I did not.
They were making it at work, and I was like, what's that? Who's got cloves? Who's got cloves? That's so awesome. I love cloves. I never smelled cloves. And they're like, it's just the brine for corned beef. They're like, no big deal. I'm like, yeah, but come on, it's such a Christmas spell. It's awesome.
Mm-hmm. The little delicate pull of the legs. I
she's
love that.
crying. That's so dark. You're making me feel things for her. No.
Remember, this is Dark Armand.
This is evil Armand.
Armand, how could you?
We got to figure out, maybe in the last panel, I think we might only have like enough time to do like maybe 1 or 2 panels. What Philo's doing with all this. Like is Philo going to be dressed as Kaneda? If Armand is Akira? If Armand is Tetsuo? If he's Tetsuo, and would Philo be Kaneda?
Hey, so this week was a big week for
Justice
comics,
for Olive Oyl, says Pierre. Hashtag Justice for Olive Oyl.
Gabagool has a really good idea. They say that we should make friends with tattoo artists.
Yes.
And then we would have none of these problems that we speak of.
Well, the problem with making friends with the tattoo artists is then they go, you're canvas. I can just draw on you. And then they wanna put things on you that you didn't pick. And I don't know if I necessarily want like a guy to be like, hey man, I'm working on my Kirby's. Come on over. And it's like, then I have a Kirby on my leg, right? Like, I didn't grow up playing Nintendo. Do I really want a Kirby on my leg? Something like that. It's like, that's
especially because there's so many people that would
friends.
kill for that.
Yeah, tattooed in my sleep, says Pierre.
Hey, so today was a big week for comics with that Fantastic Four movie and the Superman movie.
Ooh, I need to see the Fantastic Four, but I loved the Superman.
I haven't seen either yet. I don't know how I feel about the Superman. Like, I've never been a big DC fan anyways. And Fantastic Four hasn't always been my favorite family either. So I'm kind of like...
But usually...
waffling, I guess.
A really good, I didn't care about Iron Man until Robert Downey Jr. Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah, that's a very good point.
I love those.
Very good point.
I wrote my dissertation on Superman. And so, I stopped studying Superman in 2010, and a lot's happened since 2010. And so, if I were to pick up my dissertation and turn it into a book, which I've considered on occasion, it would be probably another 200 pages, maybe 150 pages on top of it from 2010 to 2025 of Superman stuff in there.
Yeah.
And it's so I would have to watch that movie because I would have to see how Americans view themselves in their relationship with the world, because that's what my dissertation was on. And I just didn't finish it.
I think comparing Man of Steel with Gunn's Superman, specifically for that sort of what does America think thing, would work really well.
Well,
there's a lot of parallels, moments.
See, it's not necessarily what the leadership of America thinks. It's what the people of America feel.
Yeah.
Right? And so it's for example, after 9/11, there was a comic where Superman said that he wasn't a citizen of America, he was a citizen of Earth.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And I'm not doing these things for American military because it hurts citizens of Earth. Yeah. Right? And it's and that was in 2002, 2003. And so, I had big long write-up about like Superman and 9/11 and what was going on in the comics versus what was going on in reality, and like our foreign policy and the creation of Homeland Security and stuff, and then the parallels in the comics, because the writers did not like the creation of Homeland Security. And so in the comics, they basically had like Lex Luthor create that department for the government. And you know, like they didn't call it Homeland Security in DC Comics, but that's what they were responding to. And so we got 9 minutes. I don't think we have enough time for another panel. I'm gonna close this. Let's talk.
Yeah.
Let's do stuff. Do you have a website yet?
No, I am gonna start pushing my Instagram more. So it's at Mr. the Teague on Instagram.
Well, let me pull it up.
It's very easy to know it's him because it's just full of caricatures.
Yeah.
I saw it.
Have you been Mr. the Teague?
Did you
Have you
commission?
been updating it?
I'm starting to update it more.
Okay.
Not quite
Do you
yet,
do
but that'll
commission?
be where to look for.
Yeah, I'm gonna open it on the main screen. Give me a second. I just have to get it up there. Okay, there we go. And here. Haha. Instagram.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Oh, Instagram.
So these are some of your
caricatures.
caricatures. Yeah. And then these are just quickie ones that you've done, right?
Yeah,
just
these were live at work.
And it looks like you're using. Yes, I can share the link. I can share the link. Okay, let me do this. I can share the link. Let me share the link. There's the link. Okay. Yeah. So I see here. This looks like it's just a brush pen that you're using, or is it just a
no, that's
Sharpie?
It's a Crayola washable marker. Just a regular Crayola marker. Has a really good flex to the tip to get like line weights.
Yeah. Oh, you're playing with fire with a washable marker.
Yeah.
You're playing with fire with a washable marker. One drop of rain on this and it bleeds. Yeah. Oh.
I mean, you'd
that's
have
not-
that with India ink too.
Yeah, I suppose that's true. And then, are you using crayon colored pencil?
Neocolor. Or Neocolor
Neocolor.
1. So fancy wax crayons.
Fancy wax crayon.
Fancy.
Ooh. So what
Because-
denotes the fanciness over regular crayons? Look,
Speaking
there's
of
a Venom.
Venom,
You
Yeah,
can
there's
get
a
some
Venom
good
right there.
smooth. I feel like it's a nice. It's more expensive, but you get like a wide range of the colors, and it goes on smooth and quick. As long as you don't let them set out in the sun, then they don't get all melty and everything.
But
But yeah,
sometimes you
pastel is
want that.
way too. I
Sometimes.
don't when I'm out there. Like if I'm
Yeah.
experimenting with some stuff, sure. Then I'll
Mhm.
paint with the lipstick.
Yeah.
But yeah, if I'm going for like, speed and clarity and kind of a uniformity of product in front of people, then yeah, I like to keep the colors from getting too melty
When
or
I
messy.
did caricatures, I always did Copics. Copic
Ooh,
markers for
yeah.
my colors. And I found that I like the brightness of the color, but
Yeah.
these would probably give you more color coverage and be a lot faster. than the copies.
Yeah, because also you could do like the shaping with the gradients really quick.
Mm-hmm.
Just like pressing down one side of the crayon while you're scraping the side against there.
Mm-hmm. That's cool. Okay, here. I gotta move it over a little bit because my screen's not optimized. But yeah, I'm just looking at your stuff since you don't have your website up yet. You have to get your website up.
Yeah. I know.
Baby Flash.
That's okay. I won't hold it against you too bad. Just a little bit.
Yeah.
But yeah, I tried to get a store on my website today, and then I realized I need a HTTPS instead of HTTP.
Did she request to be an octopus, or did you decide to do that?
Oh, they request. No, they requested that.
Yeah, because that's like
at least we came
Sailor
up with
Moon
that
and
when
the
we were talking.
octopus.
Yes, I like the
Yeah.
fact that he's the sailor. He's the magical girl.
Yeah, that came from conversation. We evolved
Yes.
that as we were talking.
Yes, that's awesome. That's amazing. And so, yeah, that's cool. And then, of course, like here, they're both riding,
Cyborg and Valkyrie on a flaming horse.
as they should be. Aw.
Yeah, she actually won that over at the. I can't remember which festival, but
Living mascot. The living mascot.
Very cute.
Little Miss Friendly. And is that a kangaroo?
close. It's a wallaby.
Oh, okay.
All of you, wow.
It's a Rocco.
Rocco's Modern World.
Hey, who took this picture of you?
I can't remember. But so she was brought over the wallaby because they were working at across the field from me was a big wildlife sort of interaction zoo sort of setup where huge long tent, multiple animals that people could either like, some of them were like petable under supervision. But yeah.
Because I'm
Just
just
that-
thinking that's just good PR for you of you
Oh, absolutely.
drawing a wallaby. Yeah, I'm heading pretty far back. I'm in 2016. now.
Yeah. To be fair, I only think I had one posting since pandemic.
Yes,
Just
so
fighting drafts.
that's okay.
That's why I don't have my website up. It's the building up the like putting the content together or finding stuff I want to put up.
Well, it's what I found for my Patreon is I literally pulled out my old sketchbooks and I scanned in a ton of sketchbooks and then I posted a sketch a day. And so like that's what I do for like my Patreon. And I write a little blurb on it, and about once a month I make sure that there's enough for the next month, and it keeps me occupied, and it puts the stuff up there and it gets through it. And so maybe something like that, like, hey, we're going through old stuff.
Yeah.
So
I can do
don't
that.
we are at time. I want to say thank you so much, Mr. Teague, for joining
you
us
for
today
having me.
and being part of the Philo experience. And this is the last show at starting at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. I want to bring back up this graphic. And so in August 2025, Philo will be starting at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So starting next show, we are going to be at an earlier time, 2 hours ahead. So if you guys are watching now and you're enjoying it and you like it, we're just going to be 2 hours ahead doing that. And so thank you so much. I'll see you guys in the future. Have a good one. This is produced by me. We'll see you then. Bye.